Charlie Weaver grew up in politics. His father served in the Minnesota House, where he would go on to serve as well. But first, the Anoka native attended law school at the University of Minnesota and then landed a job at a corporate law firm. After 7 years, he left to join the Anoka County Attorney's Office. That's where he really found his calling in public service.
I got to prosecute felons, which was really interesting, eye-opening, and gratifying. I then ran for Attorney General, lost that race, but created a great opportunity to work with Governor Ventura. When he was elected that same year I ran, I knew Governor Ventura because he was the mayor of Brooklyn Center when I was representing the area, kind of the northern suburbs, so great respect for him. He put together a mixed cabinet of Democrats, Republicans, Independents. It was so much fun, and I got a chance to lead the Department of Public Safety for 4 years, and then 9/11 happened. So I was appointed Homeland Security Director after 9/11, as well as serving as Public Safety Commissioner. And then Governor Ventura decided not to run again. My good friend Tim Pawlenty, who I went to law school with, served in the legislature with, was elected governor, and I said, I'd really like to stay on, and as Public Safety Commissioner, he said, too bad. You're not going to be Public Safety Commissioner. I want you to be my Chief of Staff. So I agreed to do that and did that for a year, and then the opportunity came to work at the Business Partnership, which is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of opportunity, so I jumped at that.
The Minnesota Business Partnership consists primarily of CEOs of the state's largest private and publicly traded companies. Altogether, partnership members employ around 500,000 Minnesotans.
Well, we are blessed in Minnesota to have a headquarters economy. We have more Fortune 500 companies per capita than most places in the nation. And it's a great thing for this community to have this many Fortune 500 companies and the leaders that are there for a lot of reasons. I mean, these companies provide a ton of, obviously pay a lot of taxes, but they also pay almost 1/2 of all the contributions to charities in the state. And they serve on boards. They serve on the Orchestra Board, or the Guthrie Board, or the Special Olympics, you name it. So it's really been interesting and a blessing to work with leaders who care far more about early childhood education, the healthcare system, public safety, education, than they do about taxes. That's really not our focus. Our focus, obviously, is we want a competitive environment so we can compete with other states and other countries. So level playing field's important to compete in this super competitive global economy. But more important is that we make sure we educate our children, that we have a good quality of life, that we treat people in the late stages of their life well as we treat people in the newborn babies. So that's the culture of the partnership, is how do we continue this remarkable quality of life we have here in Minnesota, and the business community is a big part of that.
Charlie led the partnership for 20 years. Friends and colleagues attribute his success and longevity in the role to his focus on collaboration.
Common ground can be hard to find, but it's important that we find it, because at the end of the day, common ground is what you need to advance programs that appeal to everyone and that benefit everyone. So finding that, we all want great schools. We can fight about how we get there, but the goal in Minnesota is we want some of the best schools in the country. We all want clean water. So we can all agree on that principle. Maybe we can fight about how we get there. Is it more regulation, more opportunities, more incentives for private ownership, whatever it is, but as long as we agree on the goal, then ultimately we can get there, and that's Minnesota's history, historically at least.
As he steps down from leading the business partnership, Charlie offers his successors advice on looking past differences and working together.
Reputation's important, and that's why working with people with respect and kindness to get things done, being able to disagree without being disagreeable, that's what you got to be able to do in order to be successful. And for the most part, that's what we've done in Minnesota. And I'm hoping that we can reestablish that after kind of a rough legislative session this year.